Hey everybody, welcome back to LeftPawGaming and a new Thursday news video. Today, I want to talk about 5 games that really stood out for me at this year's Summer Game Fest presentations, as well as a couple that I will be keeping a close eye on going forward. So, if you are excited for today's video, then make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you're brand new. Don't forget to ring that notification bell so you can stay up to date with all of my game walkthroughs and news videos just like this that I post all week long, and leave a comment with your thoughts on anything covered in today's video. I hope you really enjoyed today's video, so let's jump in. To start off, I want to talk about a couple of games that I've been very excited to hear news about from Bethesda. While we know that Redfall was delayed from this summer back to 2023, we did get to see some pretty solid gameplay, and I'm a huge fan of the creepy environments as well as the current enemy designs. The in-game dialogue between main characters adds a nice sense of immersion while walking the empty streets searching for the vampires. I am hoping to see a lot more gameplay, as we have to wait a little while longer for release. But this gameplay footage confirmed that this is remaining a must-buy on my list. Bethesda also gave us gameplay of Starfield as well as a huge info dump. You guys all know how excited for Starfield I have been, as it is being treated as the third king of Bethesda's domain besides The Elder Scrolls and Fallout. But the push into such an expansive, procedurally generated galaxy with thousands of planets to explore has me a little worried that this game will feel empty, and gives me vibes of early No Man's Sky. Although No Man's Sky has come a long way, and we all know that Bethesda loves to give its modding community something to dig their claws into, going this big could be their downfall. I would gladly substitute the size of a map for more opportunities to see areas that have been developed by long-lost civilizations or brand new little villages trying to find their place in the universe. But we're just going to have to wait and see as this launch creeps closer and closer. Square Enix gave us a taste of several really awesome games between the Sony State of Play and the Final Fantasy VII 25th Anniversary Celebration. Final Fantasy XVI gave us a look at some gameplay and a bit more about the story. You can see more of my breakdown by clicking the card above, but Final Fantasy XVI looks amazing and finally gets back to the type of story and use of summons that I have been waiting for since Final Fantasy X. That's right, Final Fantasy X, the first one with voice acting. But the summer of 2023 cannot come fast enough for me as I wait to get my hands on this monster. In the Final Fantasy VII Remake category, we were finally shown what Part 2 will look like and given a release window of winter 2023. We also know that there are going to be 3 parts to the full remake, which coincides with the 3 discs of the original launch. And we know that Part 2 is being called Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. If you watched my live reaction video of the 25th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII, you know my hype is through the roof for this game because I kept saying every new trailer, this is going to be Part 2, this is going to be Part 2, this is going to be Part 2. Watch the video yourself, it was amusing to me. Anything that comes out of winter 2023 is a distant second to me getting my hands on the next installment of the Final Fantasy VII Remake series. The last major game that I want to highlight is Diablo IV. This showing during the Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase got me so excited that I literally yelled in excitement, only for my 3-year-old son to say, "No yelling, Daddy." Now, I have to let this slide because he's only 3 years old, but my excitement is through the roof. In previous videos, you know that I have covered the quarterly updates on Diablo IV given to us by the dev team, and this showing at the Xbox and Bethesda Showcase was followed with another quarterly update, deep diving into the Necromancer class that was featured in the trailers as well. The biggest surprise out of all of this was that at the start of the show, it was stated that everything shown in that show was going to be released within the next 12 months. So out of nowhere, out of complete nowhere, we have a release time frame for Diablo IV that was non-existent before the showcase. Personally, I was not expecting to hear anything about a release coming so soon. Given that it could release in the next 12 months and we do not have a definitive date yet, I'm assuming that this is going to be a lot closer to June and come out around the same time as Final Fantasy XVI, meaning that I am going to have a packed summer of 2023. And now I wanted to give some time to 3 games that were highly unexpected, but that have me very much intrigued. Wildmender is one of those PC games that interests me because you can lose a bunch of time just playing it from what it looks like. I love simple looking sandbox games where you have to build things up yourself, much like my joys of playing the Animal Crossing series. Any games that give me the vibe of something like that have me interested in giving it another look. 2023 are going to give me the answers that I'm looking for, and if I decide to buy it at launch, with how packed 2023 is already going to be. Nightingale is a game that caught me by surprise, but I still need to hear more. The worlds look very clean and the art direction really hits the spot. The ability to craft these portals and travel to other worlds is looking like it's going to be central to the storyline and very intriguing for a game that looks like it's set in the Steam era. And lastly, The Last of Us Part 1. That's right, a remake of one of the best games that ever came out on the PS3 generation. Apparently, everything is being scrapped and this game is starting over while still following the original story beat for beat. The downside of this one is that for the $70 price tag, in a game that's already been fully explored by me, is not something that I really want to hold on to. We're just going to have to wait and see if this is included in the revamped PlayStation Plus offering before I actually put my hands on it. And there you have it, guys. The 5 major games that came out of the Summer Game Fest Showcase showings so far, and 3 games that kind of caught my eye that I'm going to definitely be following going forward. You guys can look forward to seeing more videos on the Final Fantasy VII Remake second part called Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Final Fantasy XVI in the time to come. Diablo IV is without a doubt going to get a ton of coverage on my channel, as well as Redfall. Starfield has me a little skeptical, but I'm still highly intrigued on the 3rd major game from Bethesda. But we're just going to have to wait and see as time goes. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of any of the games that I brought up in today's video. And as usual, thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We will see you guys in the next video.